I figure, since I'm selling mics to my cousin, and they will be gone this week, we can review a microphone that I really don't touch at all anymore. But when I bought it, I did buy it for a specific reason. Obviously, if you know what this is, SLATE ML1 modeling microphone. Now you might think, if you bought it, why are you selling it? You don't keep everything forever, alright? You just don't. And I've kind of just outgrown it. Why? I don't really emulate stuff anymore. I don't need to. All the stuff that I ended up liking, I bought it. So I figured, what the hell? Let's just do a video about it. All set up. Hello. This is me talking into the SLATE ML1. You might be thinking, why does it sound like this? This doesn't sound normal. You're right, it doesn't. So I'm going to turn off a plugin and I'm going to click a button on my interface. You are now hearing the microphone by itself. Hey, no beat playing. This sounds pretty good. I'm going to click one button on my interface. Now it's a little louder. I'm going to back off a little bit and it's brighter. Do you really want brighter? Maybe. But this one, not really. Kind of sounds cheap. So we're going to leave it like this. And I just turned this plug-in back on. Now I'm a little closer. It sounds clean. I would start a song like this. But what plug-in am I using? I'm not using the virtual microphone system. I'm using a SSL channel strip. And nowadays, that makes more sense for you. There's better modeling microphones out there. I can pull up an emulation and then I can add an actual closer sound to it and we can compare it. This microphone by itself, being a flat microphone, is a good microphone. It doesn't have any transformers. Nothing special about it, minus the fact that it's super flat. You start from 0. And for a lot of people, that's kind of what they need. They need to learn how to just mix in general first, right? But for other people, this microphone works for them as a clone, as like an alternative to a clone microphone, right? They'll use this to get the Sony C800 sound or the Neumann sound or whatever sound that they are going for. And I don't blame them. That shit's expensive. But nowadays, you can get this thing used for $90 or $100. That's a great deal. This is way better than a Rode NT1. It's way less sharp. It's way less. I don't even have a pop filter on right now. Okay, I'm maybe 2-3 inches away from this thing. I'm really close on it. And I would use this. I did use this. I used this for a long time. I probably got into the plug-in fad of it for like 3 weeks. I didn't like it. It just felt like EQ. It wasn't changing the character of the microphone. Okay? It's just EQ. The saturation you're supposed to get, is not that good. It's really not. We're going to prove my point. Sorry, I just breathed into the microphone like that with my nose. But yeah, we're going to prove my point. And honestly, you're better off getting this used, not brand new. You can get it brand new for $300 and get the plugins if you want. But to be honest with you, you're going to need plugins anyways while you're mixing all these songs that you're working on or whatever. So you have to pick a subscription at some point. You have to. It's just how it goes. And honestly, buy it used for $90 to $100 and get an SSL SLATE Digital plugin subscription. You can use that to mix and master your song, and it will sound great. This is me talking through the SSL 4KE, my favorite plugin. I use it on every song, every single song. I have auxes for main vocals and backing vocals, and on them auxes are one of these plugins. Again, this is off. This sounds solid. This is a decent bass. Just a little bit of EQ right here, baby. A little bit of EQ, a little bit of compression. And I could even back the compression off, and it'll sound still decent. I would use this. Now let's pull up the SLATE Digital virtual mic system. Let's turn off the 4KE. And know what? Let's actually use a microphone that I can compare it to prove my point. I could use two of them, to be honest with you. Or honestly, we all listen to podcasts, so let's start with this one. I don't even need to have this microphone. I could get this microphone over here right now to prove it. This is the Shure SM7 emulation. No. Just no. No. It's nowhere near as warm. No, no. It's not good. This is the older MK2 87. All right. This is the MK2. Here's the MK1. Now let's go on Safari while we're doing this. What SLATE Digital 87 mark is closest to Neumann U87I Rev 16. AI mode, please. Okay, the one that we was on, the one that we started, the MK2, the one that I assumed. The MK2, this is supposed to be a Neumann 87i, U87i, Rev 16. Well, not 16, but just somewhere in that range. Somewhere in that ballpark, this is supposed to sound like that. Now let's switch over. Change of environment, but hear me out. This is the Stam Audio 87 MK3 with only analog EQ from a Heritage Audio 73. Similar moves that I did on the SSL channel strip. No digital EQ applied. Now, do you think that was anything close to the mid-range bite and low-end harmonics that you can receive with this? And this is me cutting low-end away. Like I said, very similar moves to what I was doing with the plugin in the box. You tell me what you think. Activated phantom power, and we are back. This is back on the MK2 of the 87 emulation in SLATE. Our waveforms are the same size. That is not similar, okay? Now, I can further prove it before they get out of sight. These are our waveforms. The ones on the bottom are the SA87. These ones up top that are happening, we are currently overriding all of this over here. We're only paying attention to this and this. They're the same size, coming in at the same level. That's only about 60% there, in my opinion. Not to be too harsh, but that's only about 60% there. Flipping back to the 4KE. Come on now. That is so much better. We're not trying to sound like the 87. We're treating this mic like its own mic. We're treating it like a start to something. Now, just to test this theory, Neumann emulation running into an SSL channel strip. Now, for shits and giggles, let's throw the Neve pre into the equation. We'll crank it to 50. Actually, what was I at on the for this example, coming into the DAW hot, I was at 60. So I got the digital Neve pre at 60. We're going to turn this SSL preamp down to 0. And we're just doing EQ moves with the SSL channel strip. It's 60% there. I'm not going to lie. But that 40% we're talking about is pretty big. That's with the emulation, so you could work with it. That was not settings without the SLATE emulation. This was me doing channel strip and the emulation at the same time. If you give this mic some assistance, you can kind of get in that ballpark. You got to work for it, and you got to also know what your reference is. But you can work for it. So I will not talk anyone from getting this microphone. I will just say that you're better off treating it like its own microphone. I did for years and a half. Like a year and a half, sorry. And then I sent songs off to mastering engineers before I started doing my own. I sent mixes off to mastering engineers for my cousin. And he was like, man, I don't know how you got that voice to fit in that pocket like that. I did that with this mic. And this is my worst mic at this point. I don't use it at all anymore. It's a great mic. I think if you're going to get this mic, get it used. Get the SSL SLATE package. So you can have a lot of tools at your hand. And you can experiment with the mic emulations. You can do that if you want. No one's stopping you. I just think before you dig too deep into these mic emulations, just use it as a mic by itself. And once you get some experience with the other microphones they're trying to emulate, then maybe do what I just did right now, like a combination of using the MK2 87 emulation, running into a Neve emulation, and play with some channel strips. Change the tone a little bit. Yeah, honestly, that's how I feel. Hate it or love it, that's how I feel. Y'all have a good one.